Okay, welcome to meeting number 2 of our data science study group. This time around, we had decided for our group that by this time next week we were going to go over um, under the chapter Exploratory Data Analysis, elements of structured data and rectangular data. There was not a whole lot of meat in these chapters. The elements of structured data piece basically kind of went over data types, which if you have a software development background or computer science background, was kind of pretty self-explanatory. But maybe if you had not, then you were seeing some of that kind of stuff for the first time, like binary data and Boolean data, things of that nature. So like I said, not a whole lot there, not a lot going on in that particular piece. Would you agree with that, Jeremy?
Yeah, I thought the parts where they mentioned, the explicit identification of data as categorical, that was kind of interesting to take to note, so that like certain tools might, based on how you classify the data, might already have some built-in functionality around that. And like in particular, like the continuous and discrete, I know like when I think it's in Spotfire, if you're not familiar with their terminology for how they classify their data types, it can be a little bit of an obstacle to start trying to visualize some of that stuff.
Absolutely. So yeah, looking through that, so they did a good job of breaking that kind of stuff down and how and where you would use each of those kind of data types. When we get into rectangular data, for me, that was kind of interesting because I guess for me, like I would think of it as tabular data, or, spreadsheet data or whatever, but rectangular data makes sense. But having seen that and started reading, I was like, oh, this is just, a regular table, like a database table, or something of that nature. So that makes sense. Using pandas and stuff, they talk about data frames and working with data frames and indexes, and how to speed your queries up, how to do all that kind of stuff like that. But how to ingest and understand the data frame or spreadsheet data as rows and columns, and how those are broken down and important. But yeah, I guess probably almost anyone who does anything with data and spreadsheets is going to be dealing with rectangular data. So it's a pretty interesting deal. They moved on to the non-rectangular data structures, and time series, like stock data, stuff like that is consumed a lot and dealt with a lot. Spatial data structures. I've done a little bit of work with that kind of stuff in the past, mapping and doing things of that nature, looking at all that kind of stuff. But probably what I'm most familiar with, of course, is like these graph data structures. And I'm sure if Nathan was here, he would be able to kind of back that up on. Well, thank you, handy dandy notebook app. That's true. That's what use the graph database Neo4j and do a lot of data manipulation stuff and work in graphs and really enjoy using graphs to represent data and things of that. But I'm not sure in this book or how it works. We'll see. But I'm sure probably most of what we'll be doing is using the rectangular data and working through that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, and I said in the further reading sections, I do like that the book has like good further reading section as a documentation, to it. So since there's only the two of us here and that was so basic, I think what we'll do is just go ahead and push assign for the next week. We'll do the estimates of location and estimates of variability. And hopefully there's a little more meat in there and things that we can work with. Did you have anything in here that like you had done any code for, or done any work like on GitHub or anything of that nature?
No, I just kind of read through some of the Python, the data frames documentation, but yeah, I had cloned it, but there wasn't really anything I added in there or anything.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Didn't really seem like there was anything there worth making the work for.
Yeah.
it might be worth doing for non-programmers or non-something, maybe put a little something in the README for data types, like Python data types, string, int, float, all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's about all I can think of. So I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and break. I said estimates of location, estimates of variability for next week. Let's see, next week it'll be the 9th. I think you and I actually have like a conflicting meeting.
Yeah.
On that day, but maybe we'll reach out and see if we can't push it to the 16th.
Okay.
And see if other people will agree with that. Maybe add another
section or two in there.
Next section in there and see what they think. But if that works for you, we'll call this one short and sweet and get after it.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
All right. Yeah. Take care.
Yeah.